What's shaking, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Ultravox, and we're going back to the 1980 album Vienna. Once again, shout out to Philip for making this available, as well as Han Solo for turning my attention to Ultravox in the first place. And we're up to the tune, make sure I have this right, yeah, Mr. X. It makes me think about an X as a variable, as in mathematics, the idea of not knowing something's identity, or at least not defining it in a certain context and using that variable to maybe sort of get at some other piece of information. It also makes me think about Racer X and Speed Racer. It makes me think about a sort of like a significant character which is given that seemingly kind of bold or sort of dramatic single letter title. Ultimately, not sure who Mr. X will be, but it makes me think about a potential person, or like a possible person, a person who might fill some role or be a part of someone's life, but as of yet the identity of that person has not been determined. So let's see if it has anything to do with that. This is Ultravox, the tune is Mr. X, and it's from the 1980 album Vienna. The atmosphere already. A bit mysterious, which could work with the concept seemingly at hand. Sci-fi cinematic. With that feeling only enhanced by these little sonic bits. Maybe he died in a car crash years ago, but right now it's impossible to tell.
but I don't think he noticed me. I've got a funny feeling I know who he is.
Oh, I love when that comes in.
Mr. X.
Down to earth, mistaken identity, like uncertain identity, trying to find someone, but it's the wrong person. But the Sonics are like space opera, like. Well, I wasn't prepared to do this and the next track, and indeed I download things one at a time, just so I can help keep track of what I have done and what I haven't done. But clearly that flows into the next tune, and the way that almost like trance-like melody, again, I know this is 80, and like the first tunes, which, you know, as someone who mixes a lot of trance music of different styles and went to rave parties in the 90s, the first tunes that are like properly sort of considered trance, it's, at the very least we're talking like the latest 80s, if not early 90s, so we're still like a decade away from that, but the way that melody came in, that was very like melodic and sort of trance-like, so I'm very curious about the next tune now, and had I known it was going to do that, I would have done a 2-for-1. Nevertheless, I'll try to come back to Ultravox and, you know, the next tune in this album, Vienna, as quickly as possible, so maybe the next few days. But yeah, really cool track, atmospheric. Like I said, it was very kind of cinematic and, you know, giving me either sci-fi vibes or maybe sci-fi horror vibes a little bit during that middle section, and just this real kind of like large and larger than life on Earth kind of feel to the Sonics, and yet the lyrics, from what I caught, and which were very interestingly like delivered in this sort of kind of buried, monotone, sort of spoken style, it did seem more down to earth. Now, it could be a story of intrigue where it's like, you know, dramatic things are happening and you're trying to stop someone from doing something important, or it could be a more like common thing where it's like you met someone and then you thought you saw them again and you wanted to, hey, like, oh wait, you're not actually that person. It feels like it could be a more familiar scenario or a more big or kind of, you know, story-worthy type of situation. Not quite sure, but the Sonics were fascinating, really enjoyed it. Be curious to hear what people think about this one. Let me know. I will see you next time. Peace.